Startup Weekend Germany. Hi, welcome back to Startup Weekend Germany. I think we're live.
Yes, we are live indeed. So, Lingy, how's it been going? Heavy week?
It's 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks now after the weekend has passed. So I think everyone's had a little bit more time to settle down, settle back into the rhythm of things, and actually take a breather, which is great. I've done the exact same thing. How have you been?
It's been meetings. It's been trying to figure out new streaming software. It's just stuff you do on a daily basis, essentially. Doing some work, playing with stuff. And as a little surprise, we invited quite a few lovely people to this session. So who do you want to see? Let's maybe talk to the winning team first. I see she is very excited already. So there you go. Hello, Zelka. How's it going?
Hi. Well, we are that tired because after the startup weekend, we went to this EU versus virus hackathon. So this week we are like recovering from, I don't know, some kind of travel that you go when you finish your school and then you don't sleep for nights. So yeah, putting ourselves back together.
So how's it progressing? Making any new advances in your technology, taking the next steps? Did you progress?
Yes, we have made a logo, and we are very happy with. Then we are almost live with one web landing page that is going to just explain what we do and what it is. And now we are basically develop a product. It's still not live. We need a little bit more time, but we are progressing slowly but surely, or fast. I don't know. Maybe fast is the better word.
Wow, that's very cool. That's very cool to hear a little bit of the progress, a little bit about why we did this and why we invited lovely people back on, the top teams that finished 1, 2, and 3 as part of Startup Weekend Germany. Is that we just wanted to hear about the progress and see how people are actually doing post-event. Because one of the biggest questions is, we have a fabulous time. You meet a bunch of people during this intense 54-hour session. But what happens after? So it's really nice to hear that you've got finalized some designs. You've joined another hackathon. Tell us a little bit about the EU versus virus hackathon.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was more than 20,000 people there. And I think there was, 7,000 teams or something like that, crazy. And I think they're in Guinness Book of Records, like the biggest hackathon ever. So it was a bit stressful, but we made a new video, really nice. We have now 3 co-founders, and third co-founder is UX UI product developer. So he really did a good job. I mean, a good job for a short period of time that you have in hackathon. You are doing everything fast and stuff like that. So it was really good, and beautiful people were there, just like on Startup Weekend. So we enjoyed. Yeah. And I think that the thing you did with this live online hackathon is fantastic. We are all in our rooms and a little bit stuck. I was really stuck before this. You are thinking about things and just things are rolling in your head, but you need something. We need community. We need somebody to just push us to test our limits. So I'm really grateful. So my life is way better now when I have something exciting to do with people I met and some old people. Yeah.
A sense of meeting new people. Let's actually get Jojo into the stream. One of the other organizers, more of pulling strings in the background. The man in the dark, quite literally.
Hey, how's it
been going? Oh, it's not that dark this time. There's no sun outside, so you can actually see me.
How's it been going? How was it? Startup weekend without us for 2 weeks.
Well, the first week was we spoke the first week, so there wasn't that much time where we didn't talk. So, but
I think
it was
all
nice to have.
Days that tech is not nearly as advanced or high as we need it to be.
Good. Maybe let's also see how Remote Doc is actually going. So let's bring in Consti. Hey, welcome.
Hi guys,
how's it been going?
Maybe you see that I had the time to shave. Well, it was pretty busy weeks. We also joined another hackathon as the Bears. We also joined the EU versus virus. So it was also pretty helpful, and we are so thankful to the startup week, and that you're the reason why everything happened. Now let's see how the rocket ship will go. And our progress was, we were more focusing on the product. We fixed a lot of bugs. We asked a lot of people, also last weekend, but also during the week, how they think about it. Is it possible? Does it make sense? We showed the product. We spreaded some surveys. Yeah, we try to do as much as possible, and luckily we don't have a hackathon this weekend. But it was really good. Yeah.
Very good. In the sense of doing crazy things, by the way, let's try to get as many attendees and teams in here as possible, and just remove us as organizers for a bit. I would highly appreciate if you could just share a little bit of what went very well, what didn't work at all. Like, what are your learnings? Do you still use Discord, or do you burn the application on these stacks and stuff like that? Like, what was going on? Let me remove all of the organizers. Let me remove Lingy and myself, and just bring in as many people as possible. And this is entirely your stage, so please be nice to each other as you did on the Fabulous weekend. But other than that, this is your stage. We just want to spread the word. So let's get ourselves out.
Here we go.
Okay.
So maybe a question to the other team. How did you guys progress?
Well, we started to work like crazy, and we know a lot more about our audience, about problems, about things that we have to fix, and I think we have this under control. So I believe that within 2 months we will be able to launch product. And how about you?
Yeah, well, we already have an MVP. And
yeah, that's good.
Of course, it's not yet spread. It takes a lot of more time to improve it and to make it ready for the doctor and the patients. But we already can touch something, and it works apparently.
Wow! And what markets are you going to address first?
Oh, that's a really good question. We try to figure that out until now, and also the other hackathon help. We will probably focus on Switzerland and the Baltic states, because there's the regulation is not that tough, and there's still a huge demand. So this is really a good takeaway out of this week.
That's nice. That's nice.
What about the other team? How did you guys go on?
Hi, Oleg. You can explain better.
We are still piloting in Moscow, a few new customers and app users despite the lockdown. We intended to continue our pilot project.
Oleg, your audio is not really good.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's better.
Bit better. Yeah.
I see. We're still piloting in Moscow, as I said, and intend to continue our pilot project in the Saint-Roman region in France. Now we're preparing for next pilot also in Germany, focusing on their app localization, and we are keen on cooperation with volunteer groups, and we have received contacts for some of them from our mentors. We continue software testing, fixing the bugs in the app, and having released update this week. We're focusing on the better UX and design to be able to show potential clients or customers what they can do with the app and how much it will simplify their sales and increase revenues. we purchased the deliveryangel.com domain and launched the landing page there. It would be wrong to say we have no problems moving on the project, and we appreciate any contribution that makes our goal even a little closer.
Good.
That sounds great.
And how often do you guys meet virtually?
Every day. Anna, because I have my own business as well, but Anna and Oleg speaks every day, and I get updated every day as well. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty much crazy.
Yeah.
Are you still using the Discord? Or
Sorry?
are you still using Discord as a platform for communication?
No, I don't think so. We're not on Discord, I think. No.
Okay. Do you have any experiences? Maybe if there's another possibility, better platform that you can share?
Sorry?
Sorry, could you repeat? Oleg, yeah, can you answer the question? But I think your audio was also not so good. Sorry.
Do you have maybe a better possibility for collaboration?
Yeah, for sure. We took a part in previous EU virus hackathon, and we met a lot of potential teammates there from the different parts of the world. We intend to expand the geographical scope of the project to include more participants from all over the world. We are discussing plans to launch pilots shortly in Thailand, United Kingdom, Morocco, Ukraine, and the Baltic states as well.
And for the software we use, sometimes it's Office 365. We have everything there. So yeah, it's the most easy and practical.
We use Slack, and we have integrated Trello and and Doodle to schedule our meetings. So basically, you can just integrate Trello and Doodle to your Slack, and it's pretty handy.
Cool.
That sounds good.
Yes, because our Google calendars are synchronized with Doodle, and then you can just schedule a meeting on Slack, and Slack will only give you slots where everybody is available.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
And do you guys plan to join other hackathons? Sorry for interrupting.
Not bigger ones, but maybe some little. And we do not have a precise mind on that, but I think there are interesting ones in 1 month at the beginning of June. I could share it with you if you want. And otherwise, I don't know. Do you have plans for financing your project? Talking about hackathons.
Well, of course, but I think we are already in contact with some people, but there's nothing to be announced yet. But of course, we need money to implement the product, and especially to spread the word and get some marketing, right?
Everyone agree. Yeah.
Is there any already to the Shop Hero guys? Is there already someone using your product, like as a customer?
Yeah, we've got some customers, but on the free of charge plan.
So no revenues yet. No.
But that's really satisfying.
In context of COVID-19 crisis, we have decided to make it for free of charge.
It's a good approach.
No, we agree.
And Marina, did you already figure out how to add content to everything? So I can't remember that. So that you can add from different companies content or providers. Is this working?
This is a very good question. For the first version, we have decided to not stream content on our platform, but just give like recommendations and redirect our customers, I would say. And because for the first version, it wouldn't be reasonable.
Mm.
Just for server costs, we couldn't be able to handle that.
Sure.
And it would be also a big issue with actually nowadays, I guess a lot of people would have Netflix, so maybe you could just like connect the apps and the accounts, but it's still a super big challenge. So for the first MVP, for our MVP, we wouldn't integrate that function, but play with recommendations.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Sorry, may I what for our teammates Isabel? I'm just noticed her on the screen. I'm sorry, Isabel. Could you tell us a little more about our pilots in France, please?
Yes, thank you. I just joined the team because I was sick. I had maybe the disease, I don't know yet. So, I'm better today. What I have seen is that the service corresponds to the needs of the people. For the moment, that's all I can say. For maintaining a solidarity between the people despite the necessity of distanciation. And this is what happens normally in a family, but here it's between strangers or only in the neighborhood. It's a small area for the moment. So people can better organize their shopping, and retailers say that, like the butcher, for example, that he could maintain the sales at the same level. So this is a bit more flexible in what they said than the phone that we were using before. And it seems that, but even the customer or the users are still using the phone. So that's what we have to keep in mind. And even once the lockdown will end, apparently the service will be useful, very useful, they said. So it's nice. And but of course we have the team many ideas for new features to make the app evolve. Of course, for the moment it's not working properly, I would say. And it's just sample that we can share with the customer yet. So now people are more able to navigate the scarcity in the world, actually. And what I can say as a UX designer, that it can accelerate serendipity in the lives of users. So they are happy when they like, oh, it's a good news when they can find somebody who is going shopping and they just need flour or just need some bakeries at the bakers. So that's all what I can say today. So, but I'm very sorry for the team because I was not here when the hackathon took place because I was sick and I just recover little by little. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we wish you a good recovery?
Good recovery.
Thank you.
Nice to hear that you are better.
Thank you.
So basically, you were a team and you didn't meet during the hackathon?
No, I just registered and then I was sick just the day before. I just take contact with Oleg and then I said I cannot do it. I'm in my bed and just with a fever and everything was not good. Even now, it just so. I'm just so. It's yeah, it's not good.
Where are you from in France, Isabelle?
I'm in a little area in between Lyon and the south of France. It's just in the middle, so it's a little area in. Yeah.
Great. I am from Aix-en-Provence.
Ah, ok. So c'est Valence en fait. Valence, Saint-Marcelin. Oh. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Isn't that crazy that it's such a through this hackathon such an international community and connection? So our team was so diverse. We had our ID giver was from Ukraine. We have Taiwanese people. We have German ones. It's so cool to be an international team and tackle problems. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't have think my whole life like I will be at some point like in a French-Croatian team.
It's crazy. Oh, it's a nice
for a German hackathon.
Yeah. So actually, like this COVID was kind of a chance to meet new people, even though it's virtual. But actually, if that wouldn't have happened, I would never do this. And it's it's a nice opportunity, and I'm thankful for it.
Same
Hi,
here.
Janine.
Hey.
Hi.
Do you want to share some impressions of Remote Doc as well?
I finally can join in. Of course. So this is my first time in my life for the hackathon, and then actually it's really cool. I actually decided to join in like right before the deadline of this registration, and so everything is like just like I don't know, like pop up, and then I just work through. And I would say it's really cool that I can meet a lot of people inside, and then really work on one idea, and then like trying to make it happen. And we are still working on it. And so not only just that weekend, we are also working on like this whole week, and then even just try to really make it happen. Yeah. Although we actually encounter several, you can say, difficulties, and then also we also found a lot of potential, let's say, competitor or cooperator. Let's say, yeah, you can hardly know it. Yeah, so it's interesting to join and also to work on it and then keep work on it.
Yeah.
What are your big challenges, would you say, at the moment, at this stage?
Sorry, are you asking me?
Or everyone? I was just asking, what are your biggest challenges at the moment, at this stage of your development?
I think for our team is the biggest is like how to find our market. Not how to find our market, how to say
your niche,
how to really get the users.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the niche we kind of have it, but maybe we have to really break into a real market and really do it and really make it real, you know, like not just as how to say a start, but also keep going on it. Yeah, I don't know whether Konstantin and Yang do how to say, like update what we have done already, or maybe later.
As I told you, already have an MVP, I think, and it's working.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like what I mean, like working is like the MVP is just minimum viable product, right? I mean, working is like really link patients and doctors, so really online, and everyone can use it. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm more strict and how to say, kind of perfect. I want to be perfect. Yeah.
And what is And how many people are there working actively on the project? And what are your professions? What is your team made of in terms of professions?
So the main, like Artem is the idea holder. So we have several IT, like how to say, informatic background people, and then me,
Developer.
Konstantin, and Yang. So we are more like business development team. My background myself is microbiology, so it's basically none of the beasts, but I do have some health knowledge and so on. And then also some marketing and business experiences.
Yeah, we are all learning
so
through
that's
this.
so far our background. And then
you sound like really
we are all learning.
Yeah, you have so much people doing well with this tech, and wow, that's amazing. And how many of people is there? 7, or did I misunderstood something?
Sorry?
How many people are you in team?
In our team?
Something is wrong. Okay.
We have
yes.
like 9 people in total.
Wow. Okay.
And we try to
a lot.
just like have shift kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's say, so not all the people are always available. So like always available, it's more like less than 5 people. And then we kind of, whenever we think, there's a task could be go to A, and then we contact A, and then we ask for help, something like that. And also some other mentors. Yeah.
And now you are acquiring medical staff that would join to the platform. That's the first step.
So sorry.
So and medical staff platform. Oh, have you heard me? No.
We can hear you.
No. I think the connection is not so good.
No. Yeah. I asked. Yeah, go.
Marina, in fact, maybe the challenge we have is more cultural for us. It's cultural because it's about food, it's about shops, and shops are not the same in all countries. But we would like to make it because we are all from all over the world, and we want to work together. And so it's and we've got many people who are working in different areas, trying to see how it can fit the market or not. And this is more cultural for us, because food is also what I said with egg. It's also about love. And it's very different between countries too, but there's a similarity, which is we want to share something. We want to make sure that everybody is safe, and you know what I mean. We are not family members, and we don't want to connect only family members. But if we want to help everybody in this crisis and after the crisis, we need to address all the problem of food and cultural shopping. Shopping is very cultural, so it may be for users it's complicated for us to adapt.
But just like only going shopping or shop food. I used to study in Germany, and I am from France, so I was able to see this difference. And Germany is like, you go and buy food, but just like for 1 or 2 days. And in France, you go and buy food like for a whole week or even a month, and you see like but because we cook very often in France, but not really in Germany.
Yeah, but the only necessity for French people is to go for the baguette. for example. So
This is super real. My brother cannot understand that he cannot go out during lockdown because we have to have a baguette every day. Like, we can just like not take it in the freezer.
So this is why this app was really a necessity for us, because you have to go for baguette, and you have to organize the solidarity to make sure not everybody is going out, because it's a mess and it's not permitted anymore. So we have to figure out how to make it possible. But
I
just
think
a
you
joke.
need
It's not only for the baguette, but you know what I mean.
I think you
Yeah.
need an app only for the baguette.
Okay.
Their necessities. Baguette.
Thank you for taking over in that sense. I didn't imagine it go that well when shoving people into the cold water just like that. But yeah, thank you, Konsti, for moderating next to Jan. You guys should have become interviewers instead of like doing tech and stuff like that. But also very diverse array. Maybe one question from us would be, how does it really play into, like, what made you actually join? Like, what was the trigger factor that you said, I want to join Startup Weekend? Like, really, what was the deciding factor? Why did you join this event? And what did you learn during the event?
I think all of us want to have a contribution to this crisis.
Okay.
And I
So
think
it
it's like the common ground of our participation.
Cool.
I
What
was-
about the other ones?
I was talking to. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As I got it right, what we learned from the hackathon, yeah? Well, that was the question. The lockdown, the most of us live in is not isolation. And we are able to communicate, we can work together, united of common goals. All this shows we are not divided. And it was amazing fact that people get closer to each other despite of distancing between them.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very good point. Especially other countries were coming to us as organizers, being like, "Hey, like, how did you handle this and that?" And so many were asking, "What about Zoom bombing? What about people trying to run over your server? What about people being like mean? We need to know how to like block them and things like that." And we looked into our history, and it was like, we never needed to do that during the entire weekend. So we literally have no idea, because of like this respectfulness really played through the entire weekend. Like, none of the organizers got to hear one single complaint, and I don't think there was one. So it was really just everyone was essentially super nice to each other, super welcoming. People didn't even try to like overrun the system or break the system. Essentially, instead of hacking the system, they just participated, which was a great thing in this regard of unity as well, also for us as organizers. And also, one thing people never believed when we told them, like, yeah, don't worry about that, this is not important for the weekend. Everyone was just like pushing, like, no, we need to figure out a way. And this is so common in the US, for example. And we're like, for us, it wasn't.
That's
Anything
nice.
else?
Yes. I was talking to my friend about this solution for kids, and he's one of the organizers of Startup Weekend in UK. So he basically said, okay, just come to Hackathon. And I was so confused, not knowing what is going on there. And a few days before, when you said, okay, we're in this, we're chosen project that we can join, I was like, what am I doing? What I'm going to do? I had no idea. And then I was like, okay, you have to challenge yourself, and I don't know, I want to stay young forever with trying new things and stuff like that. And it was absolutely amazing. What is the absolutely stunning was the energy in our team. I met Marina, I met these beautiful, all beautiful people, and Remy and Isabel, and my friend Anna joined. and all were so willing to contribute and to work. And it was amazing getting jobs done with people you have met, I don't know, 1 hour before, all around the world, working together. So I think this hackathon, the first hackathon I ever attended, changed my my expectations of people and showed me how things can be good and how we can trust each other, and how inspiring it is to open up to the world, to the other people, and just share ideas and willingness to work. So for me, this was probably life-changing experience. So I'm really, really happy. And after second hackathon, I think I'm addicted. Now we already plan to go to third and fourth hackathon. So yeah.
Very nice.
So thank you, guys.
It's very cool to hear some of your experiences, Elke, especially coming in new into a brand new hackathon, jumping onto a second one, and then now you're addicted, right? So what happens next? And it's great to be able to show the growth that people go through, which is exactly why we invited these teams back here. I'm interested to hear more about Anna and Niels as well. What was your experience around that? What would you take out of this in terms of your experience, and where do you look to go?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having us. And what we actually experienced about this hackathon is it's like it brings indeed so many people together. And also you showed some, the mentors showed some pitfalls and some things to actually pinpoint more and better. So we actually take that into our, back home, of course, we're home. And it's just a way that it's really nice to have this knowledge. And Oleg, actually, the team is, the hackathon is actually more with Oleg, and he communicates with us on a daily basis. And it's really nice to see how it evolves. There's still a lot of work to do, but we're ready to already implement and to test some parts of Europe, in France, in Germany. We're thinking to go to the Baltic states, indeed, because it's easier to get things done there, faster decisions and everything, in IT at least. Indeed, Oleg also told us that he is indeed ready for some more hackathons. So he's also really into the mood. And every hackathon is different as well. It's sometimes you get a good feedback, and sometimes it's less, or sometimes they don't follow up so well. But with this one, it's really nice to really like be close to you guys and everything. So yeah, actually, very nice experience indeed.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. Do you have anything to add to that, Anna?
And
well, I agree with Neil, and really happy to be a part of this hackathon and have this. For me, it's my first experience, and hopefully,
more will follow.
More will follow, and we will fight this crisis. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. And by the way, it's she's my partner. That's why we're sitting together. We don't have this about 1.5 meters. She lives with me, or we live together at least. So if you're worried about it, if you see the show, this is still allowed.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but it's good to know that you're in.
It's when I see somebody on TV and they're so close to each other, like what? They're breaking the rules. We're not breaking the rules. We live on the same address. So
of course, yeah. No, I thought you would be as part of the same bubble. So no, all is good.
Yeah.
Joe,
you know, so now you know.
It's good. It's very good to know. Yo, I'm curious to hear a little bit more about your experience from an organizer's perspective. Organizers, of course, were there behind the scenes, answering all the questions. And so what was your experience as an organizer? This would be interesting for the participants, because all the questions from the participants go, what was it like? Was it stressful? How did you find it on the back end trying to organize this, Yo-Yo?
Yeah, so in general, it was like super stressful, mainly because usually I'd like to have like 4 months to prepare for an event. And for this, we had more or less 2 weeks because it came up so quickly. So that was just the biggest change. And then also having a team that were basically strangers before the event, besides you. But like there were 6 new people that I hadn't met before. And then just jumping in and everyone doing their job, working seamlessly together was just crazy. So again, big thumbs up to everyone who helped organize the event. And then during the event, obviously there was a lot of stuff that was new to us because it was the first online event. But like we just jumped on the Discord server as soon as we had access to and sat in there for the voice channel in the voice channel, basically from the start of the organization timeline to the end of the event, and especially during the event. I think on Saturday I logged into Discord 8 a.m. and logged off by like 12 p.m. and we just sat in there in the voice channel discussing all the questions coming in to make it easier for everyone.
Yeah, and Lingy really topped that. Like, I mean, he responded to support tickets at like 4 a.m. It was crazy. Like, I woke up to emails and it's like, this can only be spam. And then I read, no, this is a response from Lingy. And it's like, what the hell? Like, when does he sleep? Never.
Hey, we went through the same.
One doesn't sleep during sort of weekends.
Exactly.
He's awake in European and in New Zealand time zones at the same time, right?
Hey, I'm sure everyone as participants were working equally as hard at 4 a.m. Am I right? Participants, Jan? Yeah, see, look at that. Constant.
Yes, totally.
Totally.
54 hours.
54 hours. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I do want to say it's heading close to the time. I just wanted to say thank you very much. I know that there's some people backstage as well. So the people that did tune in, along with everyone on screen, thank you very much for making time to join in for us for this very special update. Again, the reason why we do this is just to invite some of the teams back in to answer the question, what usually happens after these hackathons? And where do the teams actually get up to? And it's a really important part of these hackathons to be able to follow up and see where the teams have got and if they've grown, if they're continuing on, or if they what we call invalidate these ideas and they decide to go on to other hackathons. So it looks like we've got a couple of fans addicted to these hackathons. Yeah, it's very, very nice. Christian.
One startup weekend, ever startup weekend, right? I think none of you is organizer for the first time. And by the way, if you have time, to all the ones on the green room, Germany is looking for organizers all over the place. Other countries are just as much. So feel free to like spend a little bit of your time. Like there is usually teams out of 3 to 10 people organizing these events. So feel free to essentially join the movement, organize as well. And this is also why I try to really like focus this on a group of 3 to really just maybe recap a little bit on the weekend. So thank you all the other ones for joining us. It was a pleasure for getting your thoughts. I can see you're already connecting. Please keep that up. Again, the Discord server is still open. So if you haven't uninstalled it yet, feel free to use it as well to share contact information. You can go to Slack and share contact information. Worst case, email us. We do have contact information as well. So if you reach out to the other person and they agree, we can play matchmakers too in that regard. But yeah, Lingy, Jojo, what are your thoughts? Would you do it again?
So first of all, jumping on that trend that you just started, if you are interested in organizing an event but don't know who you should talk to, feel free to reach out to us, and we're always happy to connect you to the local organizing team if there's any. Otherwise, connect you to the person who might be responsible for that area. So there's always a way. I think for Germany, we had a couple, 2, 3 people who were interested in organizing an event, and we already reached out to them. And hopefully we'll see them on any of the organizing teams in the future. To answer your question, yes. So I basically jumped on this event because my event in Munich was cancelled due to coronavirus. So And even though it's always stressful, but like after the event and during the event and meeting all the people is always such a pleasure. So I'm pretty sure I'll be back, probably in the Munich area. If we do a German-wide event, then probably there as well.
So I know who to call. Tamai will definitely be on board. I can already see that. So communications is covered. Konsti I was just about to ask him for help, but he offered that even quicker than I could ask, essentially. So next time this live stream, he will be on here as well. Jan was such a great interviewer, so maybe you as well and the other ones. I don't know where you live, essentially, so I can't invite all of you, but at least we have new facilitators. Oh, Frankfurt, that's a huge area, so there's definitely going to be a startup weekend as well. Lingy, thoughts?
No, not at. I would not do it ever again. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'd say no to the week after startup weekend, just because
always
so much. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever
the week after is always horrible.
The week after is just a lot of sleeping and making sure that you get your body right. So leading up to it, I think once we've recharged your batteries, it's always a yes. It's such a fun vibe and a cool atmosphere around these events, especially once COVID virus slows down and we get these physical events back. I think you should definitely join around Germany. But yes, I would do it again, and hopefully it'll be even better than what we did online. I just wanted to say a quick thank you. I know that we have to log out soon, but a quick thank you to the 3 teams that joined us. We specifically invited these 3 teams because they finished at the top, even though we would have loved to invite everyone else. So thank you very much, Captain Bear, Zalka, Marina, Remote Doc, Yuming, Jan, and Konsti, and then also Delivery Angels, Oleg, Anna, Niels, and Isabel, who we've heard about her story about how she couldn't join. So it's very nice to hear about your stories. And thank you very much, Jojo and Jojo and Christian for setting this up. Appreciate your time, effort, and energy into this.
Yeah, and I think that's possibly a wrap. So now we have tested StreamYard as well. We're one of the cool kids from Startup Weekend community now. Because of during the live streams that we did during the event, Lingy and I tried to essentially take the spotlight from the organizers and from the mentors and judges and also the lovely speakers, Leonie and Franziska, as much as possible, simply because it was about all of the attendees. Even though, like, now for me personally is the time to say thank you to all of the organizing team members, all the mentors, all the judges once again. Without you, teams probably would have felt a lot more lost in that regard. And with you, without the structure and all of that stuff, it is very tough to keep this focused. Also, in that sense, again, thank you to all of the attendees. I mean, Konsti specifically messaged me, like, thank you for throwing us into the cold water. I didn't expect anything like that, but this show is just magically running out of nowhere. And I still don't know how this happened and why it happened, and who I need to invite the next time to do that again. But we could essentially just disappear and everything went on for half an hour and you would probably be talking tomorrow still. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for sharing all the thoughts with the world. Much, much, much appreciated. Thank you for joining and see you at the next Startup Weekend, maybe in your local regions. Lingy is one of the facilitators, so if you ever need someone to moderate your event, feel free to reach out. He is in Germany for a little bit longer.
So is Chris.
I think he would love to. Yeah. Now I know which direction to point to. He is awesome. So thank you for doing all of this craziness with me. Thank you, Jojo, for discussing so much with me, because of having one opinion is always good, but having discussed opinions is much better. Thank you to Kathleen for doing all of the marketing for this event. Like, she knows people. I don't know where they are all coming from, but she essentially knows the entire world. Like, connections just kept dropping in. Vincent, your connections to all of the Berlin startup ecosystem and stuff like that, it was really just like one door opening after the other one. And Mario, like, you just kept popping pitch decks and stuff like that around, and graphics designs, apparently from your roommate, but I still believe it was you. So thank you so much for helping with that, and to Mai for writing all of these messages. And I now
and getting Lingy on the Saarbrücken hype trend.
Yeah, and getting Lingy on the Saarbrücken hype trend. I now even more believe my German and my English is bad after you texting the hell out of that. Thank you so much for doing it, guys. It was a pleasure. And yeah, see you next time. I also hope there will be Startup Weekend Germany another time, and maybe even doing it virtually. My last words.
All right. Thank you very much, team. We'll chat to you soon. Right. Bye. Tschüss.
Tschüss, Lingy.
Why? Oh, he's already gone.
Yeah, that's him.